Yeah, that's recording.
So I thought we could spend the rest of our time today really helping to kind of really prepare the soil for peer supervision and maybe for supervision as a whole. I was overhearing people talking about, you know, maybe how you prepare for supervision. And maybe you do, maybe you don't, but, oh, sorry, lovely. But preparing for supervision is, you know, it's often kind of interesting in terms of how you begin to use supervision or how you see supervision. How I use it, how I see it, what I see its role is, and so on. Yeah. And I wondered if we could take time to look at how you perceive peer supervision. Maybe we can look at how to get the most out of peer supervision. Yeah. And how to, you know, set up your groups or get your groups running more smoothly. Is everybody in a peer supervision group? Yeah. And your peer supervision group, is it in this group? Or great. Okay. Good. Well, that's brilliant. So maybe one of the things I can invite you to do is maybe go and work within your peer group, just to begin to answer a number of key questions. And we'll do something similar by just generally jotting things on the board. But if I can invite you to go into your peer group, it's on, and just ask work with this question around what is peer supervision? What is good peer supervision? Yeah, just thinking about what it might contain. So what is it? What does good peer supervision look like, i.e. how you use it? Maybe even thinking about what its boundaries are. You know, most of the trainings that I've been involved in have always involved students, right from the very early starts of their training, you know, have been in peer supervision groups, you know, and they meet either fortnightly or monthly or whatever they agree to do. And it seems to me that the good ones are the ones who, good in inverted commas, are the ones where like they can have sufficient challenge, but it's also a space that's kind of quite nice as well. Maybe you do go off and have a cup of tea and a piece of cake or something as well. You know, so there's something about noticing what its nurturing qualities are. But can I invite you to kind of go back into your group and ask yourselves what you think it's about? And you may be wanting to then change it in some ways. Yeah? So if I can invite you to maybe spend 15 minutes doing that.
In the many groups that we have, those are our supervision groups, or are they going to be smaller and different?
How many are in your supervision groups? There should be about 3 or 4.
We are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are about 6.
But one has left.
One has left for now, but she is in a group. Yeah.
So
We're 5. We're 5.
You're 5. Okay. That's fine. I mean, it depends
Because that's
on.
the amount of students we are in the whole.
Or maybe we could even share our peer supervision experiences.
Well, that's what we're going to do in a moment. Yeah. Yeah. But well, maybe just work within your group and just really kind of come in with a, you know, what is it that we do and what is it that I want.
Okay, Jan, what should I do? Because should I just join the group We go to another room.
You guys are fine?
We'll just go to another room.
Yeah, it's nice one. Just come back at sort of 8.
तो हम लोग यहीं बैठ जाते हैं हाँ फिर क्या जाना मतलब they are going to
Join us? Yeah, go and have a room. Is that you coming to join us?
Yes.
obviously
The decision is made for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I looked away and like, yeah, definitely.
choice was quite clear
He's using a good man.
I
It
didn't
is very
realize
clear.
that, but once I saw her leaving, I said, यही होगा.
No doubt about it.
And I thought I was trying to be hospitable. बेचारा इस्लामाबाद से आया है. कभी पूछेगा मैं किस ग्रुप में जाऊँ तो तुम्हारे पास ही जाएगा. See, I'm going to do the chocolate cake.
Oh, brought some extra knife.
Yeah.
The option became very clear.
हमने peer supervision में last बहुत सारी चीजें हम लेकर आए हैं. मैं अपना client की boundaries लेकर आई, उसमें different views थे. She said कि I can keep it in a jar, two separate jars. I couldn't separate the two, so it was. मतलब ये सारी मैंने
It was
last
from July, that is different. We are
Okay,
talking
what
about
is-
what we
what
look
is-
at it as a forum,
as
a support,
as a learning and a
as a
forum where we
support, I
can,
think.
as a support, yeah, where we are struggling at.
So if I was struggling with my boundaries,
Mm.
I took it back, I reflected on what Shaista said, and I felt कि this is also a way of looking at it.
Yeah.
कि आप इसको holistically देख के आप इसे explore कर सकते हैं. मैंने क्यों नहीं किया? So you see, it was a question for me, which was what I took back from this peer supervision, where we spoke about boundaries. and
Growing edges यानी थोड़ी बहुत तो
मेरी growing edges भी थी.
नहीं तो कौन है growing edges and then तो हम लोग ढूंढते हैं एक दूसरे के लिए
और एक
from
और
each other, we
चीज़-
learn from each other.
I think
Blind spots.
reflection जो होती है थोड़ी सी और एक feedback होती है.
And
Sometimes
sometimes
like, you know, what we did.
Mariam points out कि ये आपका material है. तो वो भी
Blind spots explore
that
होता है.
also kind of keeps you thinking कि you are blinded by certain things which your peers.
मेरा था कि मेरा holistic management आ गया तो conflict of interest आ गया. Which was kind of
Oh, you were talking about आपकी field.
हाँ, because I am now counsel there to giving it a holistic approach. उसमें there was a bit of a silence
Because we were wrapping it up
I
actually.
wasn't
We didn't
sure
have
about
time to
it.
That
discuss.
took
something where
that took it to Jan.
हाँ
also.
तो end में उन्होंने बात
You
की.
should because I think that's a good
पहले discuss किया था ना.
What do you see?
I feel that but it's knowing how to supervise, that is what we are now understanding.
We are not supervisors, basically.
Peer supervision.
Peer supervision, yeah. But what we are looking
What
out
Just
for.
material लेकर
Yeah.
आते हैं.
Yeah.
How do you view and what you learn from
The
it.
question that she just put out is, what is good supervision? What's good
I
supervision?
heard it
Peer
was like, what are you
supervision.
looking for in a
What's good
supervision?
peer supervision?
Versus
I
what's
think
good.
sometimes we all do it, I do it, and I've seen others also. What we
We
do
all
is we
look
get
up to
into
you.
the.
We all look up to you.
I was telling Jan that you look up to me because I've done this whole course. Sometimes I feel that we go into the advice mode,
Yeah.
Yes.
which should be avoided, and it should always be a more objective, analytical sort of a thing, and it should, we should not be, because जब हम advice देते हैं ना, we are immediately into our material, immediately. So, and I feel we all do it, I do it, and I've seen others also, so we give advice, that needs to not be there. And another thing that I feel is that whenever anyone challenges the other, we do tend to sort of take sides. Take sides.
I have noticed it in myself, I
Yes,
do that.
yes.
We go defensive.
Yes, we become defensive.
We become
I've noticed
We
दो
do
लोग
become
बोल रहे थे,
groups, yes.
दो लोग एक जैसे.
But I would phrase that differently.
Even I would. That's why I was going to explain.
No, you know why?
I never felt कि
No, when I feel, I go
ये
in a
वाली
certain
grouping नहीं
way,
ओपिनियन दो लोगों
in
के
that
same
way.
विचार
I
Hey,
have
hey,
already-
hey, one person at a time. Yes.
I've gone into that space many times where I have chosen to take the side of the person because I feel that the other person actually needs the holding right now, not a challenge. They're that they can do in their own supervision and with their own therapists. We come to this group because we are all in the learning stages, so we are all growing together. Nobody is an authority on anything. So whatever we see and whatever we can contribute to, we do that. Yeah, we might falter there, which may not be correct what you are saying, कि तुमने course host किया हो तो तुम कह रही हो कि this should be avoided, which is correct, I agree. But sometimes the need for at least for myself I can speak, is to protect a person is strong because I see the feedback coming in a way which is not actually a holding space for the other person.
Yes, now, exactly what I was trying to say is, I'm going to now tell you that this is your material, your
Yeah.
rescue has come out.
Maybe, I have
And
had
when we
that.
do that with each other, instead of just absorbing that and, just taking it in, we all jump in the space with our own feedbacks. Sometimes it's advice, sometimes it's rescuing, sometimes it's whatever.
Well, we can look at it with, as different points of view also, not necessarily rescuing or something.
Yeah.
It's sometimes different points of view also.
This is something that I would bring in also because we all have our opinions and that is what comes out. But also it is a very cultural thing that when one person is talking, 5 other people are talking at the same time.
That's
And
one
so
thing we do also.
That is something that in groups such as ours, we need to take time to actually absorb what is being said before
That's what I'm
jumping
saying.
into.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
getting the clarity if something is unclear to just, okay, if Mariam has said something and I get triggered and I say, no, but Shasta didn't mean it this way, or why are you saying this? What happened actually in one of our sessions? So then, for a very long time, I was seeking clarity from you because I was not able to see what you were trying to say and do.
That's
And then
fine.
you
But
explain.
at that time, when anybody, any one of us jump in the center and, we sort of give our own
Take on the situation.
because it's coming from us, our material, then the charge or the moment is gone, it's diluted. Then that opportunity to learn is gone. That's what I'm trying to say.
But at the same time, Maria, isn't everyone bringing in their own material?
Yes.
Everything that happens in a session, in a group activity, I've, especially last time Michael had that fishbowl, I actually saw the therapist, the client, the person who was acting as the mother-in-law. It was their own material that was coming out and we were taking it as, oh, so the mother is also like this. But actually that was that other person's material. So I don't know if we can take that away, the individual's material because that is very much there.
Yes.
But having
But-
said that,
But at the same time, we need to see what is the actual thing that's coming into the room other than the enactment.
Yes, you were saying something?
having said that, what you're saying, we cannot totally be devoid of our own material.
We don't
Go
see
ahead,
that.
but then the skill of a supervisor or as a therapist is वो एक third eye, that objectivity जो है,
This
that is
is-
required.
so this is what I'm
And
saying.
you may
That's
know
what
what
we're
is
all saying.
happening, you may understand what is happening in the room, you, her, जो भी
The
dynamics
dynamics,
हैं of
yeah.
the group, लेकिन आपकी एक थर्ड ऑब्जेक्टिव आई भी है जो कि आपका मटेरियल नहीं है, वो सिर्फ प्योरली ऑब्जेक्टिव रैशनल फैक्ट फाइंडिंग है.
And that
That's
is
where
the
it
third
needs to
person.
be actually. That's what it needs to be, I think. The third eye, like you said, the objective third eye.
जैसे मैं एक
That's what
कभी
we
अपने
experienced.
सेशन में कभी आई गो इनटू दिस रोल ऑफ काइंड ऑफ being a godmother and I am immediately मेरा टोन मेरा इंटरेक्शन ऊपर से मैं देख रही मैंने कहा I am going into this mode and why am I going into this
You
mode?
remember?
What is happening
When
here?
your internal
But
therapist है वो, that's your internal
But
therapist.
it is my material, na? The godmother बनना
That's
या
your
जो-
natural or
that
habitual
is,
kind of a mode.
that is my material. I'm not denying it, but at the same time I'm also thinking from that third eye, इसने मुझ में क्यों ये ट्रिगर किया, इसकी ये नीड है, मेरी ये नीड है, ये क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? तो हम सब अपना मटेरियल तो लेकर लाते हैं.
वो है ना
Amra, do you remember?
supervision में क्या different है?
Amber, do you remember last time when you came in and you said it all started with your question is how to make space safe for this particular client of yours, you remember? And then only the two of us were there. And then we went into what made you ask that question. And then you used a certain word and we said what made you use that word.
And I went back and I rethought that. मैंने कहा कि something in the way you spoke made me think कि but I never used this word that I'm inadequate. तो मुझे देखो वो भी process से मैंने सीखा कि there is something that was going on maybe there and here between you and me
But
also.
inadequacies were getting triggered.
Because फिर मैंने supervision में भी पूछा कि
So
ये
instead-
sometimes ये दो बंदों का आपस का material भी देख सकता है.
So what I'm saying is that instead of some, अगर हम 5 होते या 6 होते तो instead of somebody jumping in and saying कि नहीं Amra, I didn't mean it like this, or somebody saying just the opposite कि oh yes it has to be all about, it has to, the feedback has to come or you know what we give has to come from a very objective place. It has to come in a way that the person receives an invitation to sort of go inside themselves and see okay, what's happening, where is this coming from. So हमें जेमी भी कहता था ना rescue नहीं करो, rescue नहीं
Then
करो.
instead of asking in a curious way that why did you use this word, it could be given in a more sensitive way. You mean
Of course,
maybe
because
maybe
at
you should
that
look at the
point-
use of this word and what it means for you.
बिल्कुल.
And I think you said in the end of the, because I came by then,
हाँ, तो
you said explore it
हाँ,
into
बात
personal
है,
therapy. Yeah.
Because जो शुरू हुआ उसमें फिर तज़ीन also took a position and she said देखा ये तुम्हारा material, this is what it is.
You
And
said
that
that
made
accusatory
me
tone.
more
Yeah.
defensive.
yes.
Maybe,
Yes.
and I was not feeling defensive. I was not feeling in any kind of
Actually, you're always very open to receive feedback.
inadequacy, but it was like now it is like some person which is so मतलब out of my I don't know how to say it, but मुझे लगा कि I was made into something
That you
which I was not feeling at all. तो मैं ये सोची थी ये किसका मटीरियल है जब होता है ये ग्रुप डायनामिक्स में होता है.
The next time you like, or even today, you can talk to Tazeen and say, okay, you said it like this. What was that all about? But that's how it's supposed to be now. That's
Yes,
how we
exactly.
help each other.
I don't know if we help or cut each other down, Mariam. That's where I struggle with. Because sometimes what happens is that a person, like what Amra is saying, she felt that she had to now be in a position, she was put in a position where she felt she had to go defensive because she felt or received it as an onslaught. Something like what happened with me in Michael's session first time. So I felt it as an onslaught and as a result I stopped hearing everything. Nothing fell on in my place.
But I take things, I think I always learned from my interaction with Mariam.
Oh yes,
एक
Mariam
मेरा
was-
वो था and she put it in a very different perspective.
Yeah.
And her perspective and then group perspective made me see that situation very differently. It had not occurred to me as that client's therapist that I was being very cognitive maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Or being very, you know, and it made sense to me because आपकी self reflection, even when you go back, it's not that you just totally disconnect, it is like you keep kind of processing it, कि where was I when I, because sometimes I bring something and you say that this is something you've carried here. So you then kind of explore that this is something I'm carrying and this is what I may be even taking into my therapy session with me.
So the thing was that day what we discussed, she brought in something about you know, approving or kind of suggesting you. She was asking for a
Okay, first
suggestion.
tell me what are you now trying to say? Where are you coming from? What is
Because I was thinking